the Tigers of Hand against the Academics of Hillhouse. The captains meet at the center of the field. The captains for Hand are number 22, Eric Hamill, and number 76, Mike Anderson.
Good evening for Madison Community Television and Daniel Hand High School Tiger Football. This is Kent Sprague with Frank Tordoff and Steve Fust on the camera today. We have the coin toss in the middle of the field. Co-captains for Hand are Eric Hamill, number 22, and Mike Anderson, number 76. Today we are playing on Saturday afternoon on a game delayed because the SAT exams for many of the kids. So it may be getting near dark at the end of this game. They're playing Hillhouse, the Hillhouse Academics. And Frank, can you tell us what you know about the Hillhouse team?
Well, the most important thing right now is, of course, that they beat Brantford last week. And that was a surprise to everybody. But it's one of those things that kind of shows you can't count any team out in the league, basically. That, as it turned out, Brantford had gotten a pretty good lead. Went into the locker room at halftime, came out flat, and Hillhouse took advantage of that and went ahead and took a win. It was only their second win of the season. But, hey, they'll take the wins anytime you can get them. There's a lot to be said for that.
So Hillhouse has the ability to beat anyone if they play as well as they can, and if Hand is not playing well.
And, I would say that, too, just by looking at some of the players down there in the field. Now, I think a preamble to this is really the thing that I did get a chance to watch some of the freshman game Thursday afternoon of Hand against Hillhouse, and I was being told there then that because of the nature of things, Hillhouse players really don't get a chance to play organized ball before their freshman year. So when you take that into consideration, there's an awful lot that has to be learned that freshman and sophomore year before you really start hitting some heavy-duty competition out there, which means if they get any wins or show some potential at all, it's much to their credit.
So Hand has won the toss, and we're about ready to get this game going. Their first ever meeting against the Hillhouse Academics of New Haven. Played at Bowen Field in the center of New Haven. Back deep to receive for Hand are Eric Hamill and Glenapero.
Yep,
Looks like
Danny G.
Glenapero. So Hand will get the ball first.
We also might as well say at this time, too, we are going to be doing some, not that we don't anyway, some yard countage here for Eric Hamill, because he may have a chance to do a couple of unique things, and we'll cover that as we go along.
So Hillhouse has the ball teed up. We're about ready to begin with the kickoff.
Number 23, Quintel Penn.
And band just gets here now. We're usually used to hearing them already ready to go, but they're just getting here now.
It's a kickoff down the middle. It's going to be fielded by Eric Hamill for the 5-yard line. Hamill swings it to the right, brings it up across the 25 to the 27.
Nice run back by Eric. That was a beautiful kick down there deep. Straight down the field, as straight as you're going to get it at any one time.
That carried on the fly to the 5-yard line, so that's a pretty good kick for a high school kicker.
From their own 27.
So Daniel Hand, to begin the game, will have Mark Gumkowski at quarterback. Damian Turton is wearing number 8 at fullback, and that's Eric Hamill with the ball, and makes a gain of 4 or 5.
Stopped by number 4.
Tell you something else we got to check out. Look at the center is wearing number 50. And that's not what we normally see Tiny Tim in.
Gain of 6. It'll be 2nd and 4.
That does look like Tiny Tim, though, coming out, right?
I believe it does, yes. So Tim Hevis, it appears, is wearing number 50.
Probably grown out of his jersey.
So hand off to Turton. Still got the ball. He's got a first down.
The fullback, number 8.
And that carry is to near the 40, across the 40.
It's going to be a first out there. I think this speaker down in front of us, Ken.
We can just be quiet and listen to the loudspeaker, which is a big one right here beside us.
I think so. I can't hear myself think at the moment. Not that that's anything new.
So the first down of the game. We're early in this game, no score. The first possession for Hand, and Hamill gets a pitch to the left and takes it forward for about 6.
Gonna give him another 6 on that. cut it up, went up behind some blockers, and but the linebackers closed down very quickly on that.
Ball is at the 47.
Eric Hamill takes it to the 47. We have Hopkins split to the right. And handed off to Turton, and he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain.
Absolutely zero on that one. That didn't fool anyone.
On the play, 3rd and 4.
We will pick up the offensive lineman as we go here. I believe with some certainty that number 50, the offensive center, is Tim Hevesy. And on the near side of the field are Mike Anderson, Rob Mason, and the tight end is Dorflinger. Domkowski looking to throw. Now he's being pressured. Domkowski is sacked.
56.
He's sacked for a loss, about a 10-yard loss.
Boy, there's the case we were talking about. You can't take anything for granted. They had sent out Tommy Hopkins on a fly to try to come up with that first down, but those linebackers shiveled right through there, and whoo.
So this is going to bring up 4th and long. Punt formation for Hand. Back in punt position is Dan Glenn. Good snap, and left-footed kick out is going to hit and bounce.
Kick takes a hand bounce.
And it's still rolling down to about the 31, 32.
Down to the 31.
About the 31.
1st and 10 Hillhouse.
I don't think Hillhouse could have expected a heck of a lot more out of themselves, and they got that time on defense, Kent.
So Hillhouse gets the ball first. Hand makes 1 first down, and then the drive stalled on their first possession. And I notice Hillhouse has some big boys in that line.
Oh, man.
Frank, we'll see how Hand's team does against this. Hillhouse is a very unpredictable team. They sometimes flood the field with pass receivers. They're running to the near side of the field this time. And a lot of men out there, but a good tackle by Eric Hamill comes up and makes the hit.
I don't know, that must be a little payback type time. You know, when you're a running back and always getting hit, it must feel good to get out there and try to do a tackle every now and then. And that was well closed by Eric out there.
That was the old student body left with a lot of blockers in front of it, but Eric Hamill found his way through the blockers and made the tackle. 2-yard gain, 2nd and 8. There's the old-fashioned T formation here.
Certainly is.
And the pitch sweep to the right this time. And not much there. Rob Mason has got his man.
Takes nothing. Stopped by number 72.
Well, they had the blockers out there that time on that, but Hand was able to roll away from that, play off the blocks. Rob did a great job on his part to make that tackle.
Rob Mason made the initial contact, and Tom Malik was right with him. 3rd down and about 7. Give him a yard gain on that play.
Definitely a passing play, and this is the case when we've got a little premonition. They may send 5 receivers out. Doesn't look like it right now. How about a draw would not be bad, or a screen play.
And it's going to look like a reverse coming. It's reversed to the near side of the field, and a man is pinned in, and he will not get much. Gain of about a yard. Dan Carroll, Chris Frey,
Bobby Duggan
all in on the tackle, but a reverse was totally hemmed in.
Very interesting to see that, because the Hand players did start to bite on that. In other words, over here on the right-hand side, they started to filter towards the center of the field, but then they thought better of it and saw the reverse coming. Did a nice job.
Punt formation on 4th and long. Winapero is back to receive for Hand. A good snap and a short kick, an end-over-end spinner. It gets a bit of a roll, and it's going to go down to the 40.
So it is. It rolled about 12 yards out there, so it rolled almost as far as it went in the air, but doesn't make any difference when it comes to scrimmage time.
So they spot that ball at about the 39, Hand's 2nd possession. No score in this game. We're 6:55 left, 1st quarter.
It's just about where Hand left the ball off last time.
Hand has a full house backfield of their own. Hopkins is in a blocking position, and a lot of blocking, and Eric Hamill breaks through, gains about 15.
Gonna give it 15 on that, Kent?
15-yard gain for Eric Hamill.
All right, that was a beautiful series of holes that came through on that, including the The block is from the backfield coming through, taking out the secondary linebackers. Nice job.
Both Turton and Hopkins were in the blocking position. This time Dan Carroll is in the backfield, but it's handed off to Turton. Turton goes through for about 4. There's a flag.
Flag on the play.
We don't know what to think about that one.
Thrown back in the Hillhouse backfield.
Well, both of those last two formations a little different than we see Hand do quite often. And
It's an infraction against Hillhouse. I'm not sure what that signal was, Frank. Did you get that?
did not get it. No, that's one of those.
They're going to give the option to Hand.
It'd have to be some sort of defensive motion and not set or came from deep in the backfield though.
So they're going to bring it back to the line of scrimmage and walk off 5.
There was a flag on the play.
Well, the referee's coming over to the sidelines. He should give us a signal.
They're going to walk off more than 5. They're going to take that
on the field
for 15.
is the call. So I count 11.
That was a signal with too many men on the field, but there are 11 men out there for Hillhouse, so we don't know how they count in New Haven.
It'll be 1st and 10 Hand at the Hillhouse 30.
That was a 15-yard penalty, however. And Hand has got this power I formation that they're using several times in a row. They've got Dan Carroll and Damian Turton ahead of Eric Hamill.
Kind of interesting. They're really playing like with 2 tight ends in too. Ken, if you look at that, Mac Dolan's in on this side.
Ends, that's right. Nobody split wide. And it's run up the middle by Turton, who takes it forward for 2 or 3.
So we're getting to see a little bit different here, which is quite refreshing as far as I'm concerned.
Gain of 2, 2nd and 8.
The ball is spotted now at about the 28. This time Hopkins is a power I, strong to the right, but they're going back to the left with
Hamill on the carry.
Hamill carrying the ball.
Well, he cut into to the right of his blocker, which is, I'm sure, where he was supposed to go in that particular play. But
5-yard game down to the 23.
Interestingly, there was wide open hole to the left side that time. Can't make that decision when you know which way your blockers are going, but it's
3rd down and 3 for Hand at the 23. And they're staying with the power I, and Hamill's hitting the backfield. He needs a yard or so.
Boy, he stretched hard and long trying to get that.
That's going to give him 2 yards on that carry, and they have a long 1 to go for a 1st down. 4th down play coming up.
4th down.
At the
Make
21.
it good.
4th and 1 at the 21, and when they need 1 yard, they usually let Gumkowski keep it or run right behind Hevesy. And the flag is thrown.
Yeah, it's going to come back.
The ball is carried across the 20, which would give him enough for a 1st down by Turton, but that one's coming back.
That's right. That was motion. It did look like Tommy maybe left a little bit early on that. Could have been Eric, too, for that matter, but I think it was Tommy that I picked up, headed to the line of scrimmage early.
It's against Hand.
So a motion penalty against Hand. Bring up
procedure.
4th down will be repeated. 4th and 6 now.
I'm going to have to hustle to make this first
Now they're in
down.
an I formation. And pitch to the right to Hamill. Hamill makes a cut. He's going to be just short of a 1st down where they spot
Think
it.
so?
Yeah. He's got to cross the 20.
Yeah, he had to get to the chalk, and he didn't quite make it. He tried.
Hamill ends up a yard short, but he gained
Over 5?
about 5 yards on that
Well, we are on the
carry.
number count for him, so
And Eric Hamill made a dive looking for the 1st down, but he came up just short.
I'd give him a 9.9 on that, though, wouldn't you? Degree of difficulty was 3.6, so
A lot of style points.
a lot of style points on that one, Eric.
So 4.5 minutes left in the 1st quarter, and Hillhouse holds on downs.
Matter of fact, the Madison women's diving team may not mind having him on board. The swim team had a very good year this year.
Hillhouse,
Considering they don't-
Hillhouse takes a timeout with 4:16 showing on the clock in 1st quarter. No score yet. It's been a defensive battle so far. and nobody has gotten close to scoring yet. So Hillhouse uses their first down of the half and gets the ball back at the 21. Motion man, and they got receivers all over the place on this play, looking to throw, and it's thrown across the middle. Beautiful catch. Complete pass, first down, and defensive men were right there.
Let me tell you,
nice catch.
You bet it was a nice catch. That was no easy one by any stretch. And defended it quite well, and that had to come right through.
First and 10, Hillhouse in their own 43.
Receiver had to stretch out long to get that. Demick Jenkins is the young man who caught that ball. Demick Jenkins.
So first down for Hillhouse at the 43. Motion this time to the near side. And a handoff to right up the middle, and man still going, and he's got a first down. An 11-yard run. Down to the 45.
Well, let me tell you, he's not any small guy. He's 6 foot, and shows him up here as someplace around 215 pounds. So that's a lot of lumber to have to pull down there, Ken.
So another first down for Hillhouse at the 45.
As we said earlier, this is not going to be a game you can take for granted just based on schedules and records to date. Hand has got to step forward and be tough out there.
One man behind the quarterback, a lot of receivers to the left side, and it's a draw, and a man running to the far side, and he's got about 15. That's another first down inside the 30.
Oh, man.
Knocked out of bounds by number 88, Ian Guimpero.
That guy just tucks it away and runs. Oh, man.
So a very good run and good deception on that play.
Very good deception. I continued my eyes following the quarterback, thinking he was going to try to throw it. Not only did he fool that way, but he kept looking left as if he was throwing left. So
ball is now at the 28 and a first down for Hillhouse. And they're moving the ball on hand. The quarterback still got it, and now he's going to take it around the end. And he's down near the 20.
Eric, Bobby Duggan did a nice job on that.
That's about a 7-yard gain right there.
From the hand 21.
Hand collapsed on the center, thinking it was going to be similar to what they've seen, but that time it was a quarterback keeper. And
the defensive line for hand are Rob Mason and Mike Anderson in the middle. Tim Hevesy and Tom Hopkins, the defensive ends.
And going for Pater at this time.
And hand it off right up the middle, and not much there, maybe a yard. Tackled by Damian Turton.
On the stop, number 30.
Yeah, it's close to first, but not quite.
Need about another yard for a first down.
Gain of 2. Third and a long one.
I'll tell you, it's going to go to number 44. They're going to.
Ball is at the 19-yard line, and they got third down and short, about a yard and a half for a first down.
44. Chris Burney will be the guy, but the few downs we've already seen, and they're effective. That's okay. They'll probably go in from the sidelines.
So 2 cracks here to get the first down. And Hillhouse is mounting the first scoring threat. Quarterback still got it. Being pressured, now he gets away. And it's a complete pass. The quarterback gets away from Malik, but a first down inside the 10.
Oh my goodness.
Mac Dolan comes up with a ball, but they call it down.
Yeah, absolutely.
At the 7.
Well, we're seeing an effective offensive drive right now, and we're seeing some real tricky activity out there from the quarterback, and very deceptive.
So the first scoring threat of this game is by Hillhouse, who is taking it right down the field on hand. Strong to the left this time. Quarterback got
Quarterback
it.
still has it.
And he's heading for the end zone, and he's right near the end zone.
Not quite.
Referee shakes his head no, he did not get in, but he's about 6 inches outside.
Second and goal from inside the left.
Let me tell
The
you,
length of the football for a touchdown here.
it hasn't been very often this year that hand has been scored on first, or even in the first period.
They've been scored on exactly once all year in the first period.
This is one really effective drive, and I tell you, everybody on that Hillhouse team is doing a good job. But that quarterback
Second and goal, and they're just outside the goal line, and he's into the end zone. That's number 44 for Hillhouse, scores first. 44 is Chris Burney. He's 6 foot, 215, the program said.
215, and he was running off the tackle and guard on that side for Hillhouse with two boys also well up into the 200s. So he had some pretty good blocking over there. This is as effective blocking and running, I think, as much as we saw DeLucia and Hare from Sheehan and a couple other guys this year very effective. This is effective.
So Hillhouse comes out to try for 2 on the conversion. They're strong to the right side, and the quarterback's looking to the right. Now he throws it. Flag is thrown on the play. It's an incomplete pass.
It's gonna. It could either be
flag was thrown in Hillhouse's backfield.
Okay.
And Hand refuses. The conversion is no good. Hillhouse leads 6-0 with exactly 1 minute left in the first quarter.
Dorflinger shouldn't be playing. I thought he.
And Dan Guinapero are standing at about between the 5 and the 10 to receive this kick. And the first kick, he gets a long run at it and hits it hard. Hamill comes up and fields it on the 15.
And they return to the right.
To the near side. He is being tackled, but across the 30. Eric Hamill brings it back to the 32.
I'll tell you, that was a whale of a tackle. This Edgar Hembert is a sophomore, but he did a beautiful tackle on Eric. He just stayed right at home. Eric tried to bob and weave him out of the way, and it didn't work.
So, Hand, I guess, Frank, you can't come from behind till you get behind.
That's right. Well, we did. If you remember the Shelton game, certainly that was back and forth all the way. So
actually, Hand has been behind in 3 different games that I recall this year.
That's right, and had to come through late too.
So Mark Gumkowski, quarterback, has got to flag down, and Hamill takes it forward for about 7 or 8, but flag down.
Well, we don't know what they're calling it. Offsides defense. They'll probably turn it down and keep Eric's yardage.
That was a pretty good gain. No, they're going to
5-yard penalty.
No, they're going to.
I believe that was a dead ball infraction before the play got started. They were whistling it dead. So first down repeated, 1st and 5 now. That run by Hamill will not count. But Hamill gets it again, and he's through the middle of the line for, he's near a 1st down.
I'm going to give him 5 on that one.
About 5. And the referees say 1st down.
All right. Underway, Hand. They've got the band. The 12th man on the field, I call the band.
So Hand, a 1st down at the 41. And we're about to run out the first quarter. We got 15 seconds and running. Pitch to the left this time to Hamill. Hamill cuts it forward for about 3.
Kind of interesting. The outside corner was kind of not really blitzing in, but he was coming in to cut down that corner at a very sharp angle, and Eric cut on the inside of him and ran past him.
Eric Hamill takes it to the 45 at the end of the first quarter. Hillhouse leading Hand 6-0. So we switch into the field and go north for the second quarter.
The second quarter, 2nd and 7 for Hand.
Ball to 45. And it's handed off to Hamill. Big hole. Hamill's got a 1st down.
Gets about 8.
About 8 yards they're going to give him on that run.
Just quickly on that, we're doing a count here to see if Eric has 2 numbers he's looking for, and one is a career 3,000 mark. We think he's got about 60 or 70 yards to go to that. Another is to be the only player in Hand history to ever break a 1,000-yard mark twice in a career.
So Hillhouse has got a little confusion. television and calls a timeout before Hand runs this first down play.
Let me just finish that off and reiterate it again. We're watching two numbers for Eric in today's game. If he gets roughly 100 1/4, he'll go over 1,000 yards on the season, which will be the first time anyone ever. So this could be historic from that standpoint, that Hand has had one runner do back-to-back years, or actually 2 years, period, in a career, and also the 3,000 mark for a total career. We don't know what some of the other runners have, but that's at least a mark for Eric at 3,000 in a career. So we're watching those numbers today, and I'd say he's awful close to getting that 3,000 mark, but we'll be watching what we can here.
So Hand has a first down on that last run, and this time they got three receivers. Split to the near side of the field, trips left. And they've got a delay back to Hamill, breaks the line of scrimmage, breaks another one, and clear down to the 25. Went from the 47 to the 25.
Gain of
24.
All right, by my count, that should put Eric over the career 3,000-yard mark here at 11:37 in the second period of this game. So congratulations to Eric on that mile marker, if you will.
He was totally out of one game and missed 3/4 of another. And there's Turton heading for the end zone. Damian Turton scores for Hand. Excellent blocking in front of that. Opened a big hole for Damian Turton, who takes it in.
Well, there is really the look right now when you have a pretty good, or not a pretty good, but a very good 1-2 capability in that backfield. You can see the teams, and all year they start to go and they start to key on Eric, get prepared for him, and they forget about that quick handoff to the fullback coming through, and that's exactly what we just saw.
Jim Willis to try the conversion. Ryan Milligan to hold. Tim Hevesy is a snapper. Good snap, good placement, and the kick is up.
And good.
Kick is good. Jim Willis gives Hand the first lead of this game with 11:23 left in the second quarter.
Yeah, we were talking before the game here too, Kent, about Jimmy Willis and how he was doing his practice kicks and really drilling those and getting a lot of distance on it. And that's really neat to see. He's a great young man. We did interview him early in the season, so you folks at home had a chance to meet him up front and personal, as they say. But great kid. Nice to see him continue his winning ways there.
So Hand will kick off back to Hillhouse, who has three men dropped deep. Jim Willis hits it. And it's alive! And it's alive. Covered by Hillhouse at the 38.
Hand was a little bit slow on the follow-up on that. If they had been really digging hard, they may have had a chance to get that ball.
Hillhouse gets the ball back, 1st and 10 at the 38.
We saw some pretty good offensive movement there by Hillhouse last series when they brought it in for a touchdown. So Hand's defense has got to hunker down now. Hadn't been faced with that very much.
In the defensive backfield for our Hand are Guinapero, Duggan, and Gumkowski.
I think they'll come to the right.
Motion is to the right.
No.
Quarterback looking to throw, straight back. Now he's going to lay it up. And it's caught and out of bounds. We're going to mark it as a first down at the 37.
Nice touch on that ball, too. He just laid that up there and let the runner come underneath that, and Hand's coverage was very, very loose on that. But there again, they threw a whole lot of receivers out there, and Hand had to try to cover them, even though it's a zone defense. A zone defense sometimes is you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Or it's a little bit of good or a little bit of bad is another way to say about a zone defense.
So we've got Ryan Milligan now playing safety position. High formation for Hillhouse and run right up the middle, and he isn't going to get me.
Gets a couple.
Yard or so. That's Mike Anderson.
76. Mike Anderson.
I like to say, as far as Hillhouse goes, on this right-hand side of theirs, they're running a fellow by Nico Beasley, who's 320 pounds, and Joe Boyd, who's 246 pounds. So between those two guys, you've got a pretty well long way towards a ton of beef coming at you. course, Mike Silmani holds his own too down
Hand's
there.
got their biggest man, Mike Somani, in the middle of the line with Mike Anderson now.
That'd be a pretty good inside workout
A
there.
major collision.
Oh, what a...
Quarterback still got it. Looking to throw to the far side and incomplete. Throwing a little bit high.
It'll be 3rd and 8.
Tommy Malik.
Very good fake by the quarterback.
Yeah, Tommy Malik was on a blitz that time. Almost got in there too, but nice job by the quarterback. 3rd and a bunch. They're going to go to the air again. They've had some reasonable success with that, it seems like. So
they've got Gumkowski and Hamill and Guinapero and Duggan back to try to protect against the passing game of Hillhouse. Quarterback still got it. Rolling it right there, the flag down. And it's thrown down where there are two hands. Coverage was all over the place down there near the goal line. Eric Hamill knocks it down.
Wow, yes, it's against Hillhouse.
well, that should be about probably a holding penalty.
Holding call against Hillhouse. Maybe that's why the quarterback has got such a good time to throw.
Yeah.
They're going to push that one back, get them as far away from the goal as they can. I will repeat 3rd down, but now it's going to be 3rd
Back to the 49-yard line.
and a bunch.
Yeah, it should be. They had about 7 to go before, plus the 15. It's going to be 20 and a little bit more there.
Probably 25. Third and long for Hillhouse. One man behind the quarterback, and Malik blitzes, and Malik gets to the quarterback, but he hands it off, going around the far side. And a pretty good gain, but hand will stop it well short.
Boy, Tommy was almost through for that. He almost able to take that hand off himself. Nice drive, but the good timing for Tommy.
Duggan makes a stop on the far sideline. That'll bring up 4th and about 18.
The punt here on 4th.
No, about 15,
about 17.
17. Yeah.
Yeah, 17, 18, something like that. Punt formation. Guinapero has dropped deep to receive. It's a low snap, but kicked out end over end. It'll hit and bounce. And Guinapero is going to stay away from it. Good roll.
Oh, they're going to really have him down
To
in
the 5-yard line.
Whoa! How about that? Nice, very, very effective kick. Very effective kick out there. Now, hand is going to have to, if they're going to take it down the field, which we hope they are, going to have to really hunt it down now. They got
We're just
90
inside of 7 minutes left before the half, and Hand is 95 yards away.
Looks like those linebackers are getting a little tighter in there.
There's a pitch to Hamill on the far side, and Hamill goes forward for about
4. Stop by number 35,
looks
Lamar
like about
McHale.
3 yards.
Number 58, Raymond
Oh, that was the old standard off-tackle dive on that, so Hand is trying to set up. Now they're going to be setting up for a series here.
running behind. Mac Dolan is in at tight end. 2 receivers to the near side, run right up the middle by Turton.
3.
Gain.
Number 8 on the carry.
Gonna bring
Stop by number 58, Raymond Dolphin.
That's going to bring up 3rd and almost 5.
Well, this is where they're going to say the gummy here. Okay, got a ways to go. We're deep in our territory. Nothing that's going to get us in trouble.
3rd and 5 for Hand. Eric Hamill on tailback. Hamill gets the ball. And he's going to be stopped short of a first down. He gets to about the 14. Going to be a yard and a half short.
That was, like we said, that was a matter of trying to keep it very cautious down there. Don't do too much with the ball where you're going to get in trouble and maybe have a miscue.
Dan Glenn is back in punt formation.
Looks like they've got a rush on from that far side over there, Kent. But Danny comes in close.
Formation. Oh, and it's fumble in the backfield. And the hand is down. The snap was not handled cleanly by Dan Glenn on a 4th down play, so Hillhouse gets the ball.
Yeah, they had a rush onto it, and I think that made some of the hand players a little bit nervous by the look of it. They overloaded the far left-hand side, and so that there were not enough blockers there, and I think that made him a little bit nervous. Danny came in a little bit closer than what he was, and therefore the snap wasn't quite on cue. Now, here's
big break for Hillhouse, getting the ball at the 7-yard line, 1st and goal. Have 2 receivers to the left, I formation. And hand it off to the tailback. Hit at the line of scrimmage, goes forward for maybe a yard.
Yeah, they've got second. They've got about a yard maybe on that one, Kent. Met very well.
Mike Anderson in on the tackle. And Frey gets off the bottom of the pile.
And good sportsmanship down there by Quintel Penn and Damian Turton. Oh, I'm sorry, Chris Frey.
The ball is just outside the 5-yard line. 2nd and goal. And it's handed off to the far side, and Tiny Tim has got him wrapped up. Not much gain there.
Yeah, he was wrapped up, but by golly, those weren't going to be easy.
Gained a yard.
Tom Malik, along with number 50, Chris Pratt.
Uh-oh.
Gain of 1, 30 there from the 4.
That was Hevesy.
Yeah.
He's wearing number 50.
Mac Dolan was in on that,
Mac
too.
Dolan was in on that tackle. That's right. 3rd and goal. Ball is at the 4.
Those are tough in-your-face yards down here.
We may see a little razzle-dazzle.
Yeah, you might, because they've got one they can burn, really.
They're going to run. Oh, the quarterback still got it, and he's going to be stopped. No gain.
Keeper gets about a yard.
Hand didn't bite on the fake too much. They went after 44, as well as kept their eyes out for the quarterback keeping that ball.
That wasn't much gain at all. 4th down. They're between the 3 and the 4.
I don't know if they have a kicker or not. They were doing some kicking ahead of the game.
And Hillhouse calls their 3rd timeout of the first half before they run this 4th down play.
That's their 3rd.
Here's a test of hands defense. 4th down and goal. The ball between the 3 and the 4.
Wow.
Hillhouse spreads them out. Receivers all over the place. And being pressured. And complete pass. Touchdown.
Nice play. Nice call on that. Quick dive coming across from left to right. Did a nice job on that.
A nice soft pass right over the middle. Man slanting in from the left side to the middle of the field. And a touchdown for Hillhouse.
12-7 lead with 5:06 remaining in the first half.
Hillhouse regains the lead. 2nd time they've had the lead.
Now they'll most likely be going for that 2-pointer again, I'd say.
One doesn't gain a whole lot for them.
No,
they
really.
went for 2 before. They've got 3 receivers to the right this time.
Hard right up the center.
And they're running it right up the middle, and he's near the goal.
If he stuffed it,
Did not get in.
That was Chris Burney on the carry. Ball remains 12-7.
little breath of fresh air there. It was a good overall series. Both
So Mike Anderson and both the inside linebackers, Tom Malik and Dan Carroll, were in on that tackle. Stopped him just short of the goal line. 12-7 with 5:06 left in the first half.
Quintel Penn will kick for the Aces.
And kick right up the middle, and we feel it on a bounce. No, it's not fielding. Grant Farrell picks it up, the quarterback at the 10. He's not going to get back much. Gets back to about the 13.
Number 36, Aaron Scott.
Oh boy, Danny was.
I don't know if he touched that ball when it first came down, but
Number 14.
He
It did get by him.
He did what he had to do too on that, by golly. He made sure he got it in his hand. He did dodge one tackler out there, and he got ripped pretty well by, his name was Aaron Scott. He's a sophomore. Did a nice job on that tackle.
I guess we got a flag down here, Frank. I'm
I
not
didn't
sure
see
what
it. I missed it. That's going against hand.
We're going to march it off against hand. Must be an illegal block. Maybe that was a clip.
Illegal block below the waist. Half the distance to the goal.
That's the ball back at what we got here, about the 7? About the 7-yard line. And Hand running straight forward with Eric Hamill carrying the ball. Brings it across the 10.
Gain of 3, 2nd and 7. That was Hamill on the carry.
3-yard gain for Hamill.
Raymond Dolphin on the side.
These are tough yards down here too, because that defense wants to hold.
And Hillhouse has 11 men right up near the line of scrimmage to try to stop the run. When it runs through the middle, Damian Turton takes it up to the 15.
Stopped by number 35, Lamont McCall.
Well, it really was number 44. Their fullback, their big fullback, is really playing like a nose tackle in there. And he's doing one whale of a job at it, too.
They're down in about 3 for Hand. Ball at the 15.
Very important play right here.
And Hillhouse has got all the defense right up close. Pitch deep to Hamill. Hamill's got the first down.
Very, very good.
This one appears to be a heel.
About a 4-yard gain for Hamill. He needed 3 for the first.
We definitely...
We have a break in the action here with an injury timeout for a Hillhouse man.
Little break in the action here, Kent, because of the injured player. We can't tell. It is a Hillhouse player. Don't know who it is, but they're being very cautious down there, and they're bringing the ambulance on the field. I just saw that the security guard out there used his walkie-talkie, and sure enough, here they come. We certainly hope the young man is okay, and this is just simply precautionary.
Dasher, let's just hope everything's okay.
After a long injury timeout, Gumkowski's looking to throw one man wide open. That's Tom Hopkins. Hopkins got the first down up to the 45.
Nice job out there. We were just saying when we went out there in the break, because of the injury, that Hand hadn't thrown any passes whatsoever, and with the defense all stuffed right on the line of scrimmage, that was a nice pass thing to do, and there it was for you.
We got 3:20 left before the half, and Mark Gumkowski wants a timeout.
Only 3 minutes to half.
So Mark Gumkowski calls a timeout before they get the next play going. One pass play was complete to Tom Hopkins. That's Eric Hamill. And Hamill got about 8 or 9.
Well, what we just saw there was a nice hole blown open by the line. That's what they've got to do. Seen them do it all season long, and there they were. Well, here's the replacement ambulance. How about that?
So about an 8-yard gain by Eric Hamill. Gumkowski looking to throw again. There's his man wide open. That's Guinapero, complete pass. Another first down.
The G-man out there wide. He had to go low for that pass, but he salvaged the pass, rolled out of bounds to stop the clock at the same time.
The clock shows 2:42 left in the half.
We had a chance to show the folks that handsome young man last week. Guess they didn't give it to him out of bounds.
Well, Hamill carries the ball, and Hamill's got the sideline there. Hamill is out of bounds about the 30.
Gain of 7.
Erickson, all right, did a nice job there. Do you happen to notice how he stopped dead in his tracks, did a left and right bob and weave, and then continued all around to the right? And nice job, Eric. Clock is running down. for this half.
Second down and about 4 to go for Hand. 3 receivers to the near side, and that's Hamill through the. He's near a first down. Right over the left side of the line.
Yeah, hurry up offense, and their boys are hustling back. Clock stopped just momentarily while they do the first down business.
On the near side of the field on the line for Hand are Matt Mesa and Andy Drennan out in front of that play.
There's been another injury on the field.
We have another injury, but to a Hillhouse man on that last play. The man who was hurt earlier, they did put him in an ambulance. They have not left the field yet with the ambulance. But we have a break in the action here. So as we're ready to go again, the man ran off on his own power, so that looked more like a cramp than a serious injury.
Or winded, for that matter. He's holding his belly. I'm taking a helmet right there.
Domkowski hands off to Hamill. Hamill through the line of scrimmage. And Hamill's got about 4, it looks like.
Well, he's definitely up to his just about 100 yards on the evening, on the afternoon for that matter. So Eric did his 3,000 yards career earlier. So he got another game with 100 in it right now in the first half, and he'll be closing in on that 1,000-yard mark.
Domkowski still got it, rolling to the near side of the field. Now he's looking to throw, throwing long. Intercepted in the end zone.
Oh, what an interception!
A fine catch in the end zone, right in front of Dan Guinapero.
Not only that, but let me tell you, Danny was right there wide open. The defender saw him, was watching him come in, turned around at the last minute, perfectly timed to intercept that ball.
So Hillhouse gets the ball at the 20 with 1:42 left before the half. A nice interception. The ball was just a little bit late getting to Guinapero. He had to wait on it. And by then, the defensive man cut in front and made a nice diving interception.
Yeah, you're right with that, Ken. He was sitting there for a long time.
Run right up the middle.
Ball's down!
Right into Mike Salmani and a whole host of tacklers.
Ball was well down. And Hand's got it.
I don't know who got the ball, but Mike Salmani made the initial contact there.
Oh, yeah, and the runner was going nowhere, and the ball came out. Before they even got him down the ground, you could see the ball just kind of sitting there at everybody's feet. Don't know who
Hand with the ball back on the 18 with a minute and a half to go before the half.
They'll take over, 1st and 10 at the 19.
Oh, what a turn of affairs that is.
So they get another shot at it. So Hand with the ball back at about the 18. And there goes Hamill up the middle. And Hamill crosses the 15.
Stopped by number 44, Chris Burney.
About a 5-yard gain for Hamill.
Yeah,
so Hand takes another timeout. By my count, they have 1 left in the half. Is that correct?
That's the way I have it, too, and we'll see what it is, but definitely they want to preserve the time they can here to try to punch it in the end zone before going to the locker room.
2nd down and 5, and the ball is at about the 13, it looks like.
2nd and 5 for Hand.
2nd down and 5 for Hand. Ball at about the 13. Domkowski rolling right, and there's a defensive man. Now he throws it. Complete pass to Turton. Turton breaks a tackle, breaks another one down to about the 2 or 1.
Nice job out there. Kind of interesting. Damian tried to do the low crawl, but remember, once the knee is down, the ball is dead. But he hit the ground, tried to do a low crawl across that goal line.
Hand
nice.
uses their last time out, but they've got a minute 14 left before the half. The ball's at the 2-yard line.
Hand, that's the last time out.
And at about the, where are we, Frank? 2 or 3?
2.5 maybe. Oh, the ball's down. Oh, my word!
Oh, it bobbled on the snap. It looks like Hillhouse may have it. Hillhouse recovers the fumble.
Holy smokes! That was on the snap. Miscue on the snap, Ken.
So, Hand is making some big mistakes. Had an interception in the end zone on the last drive, and this time at A fumble, lost the ball at about the 2.
Well, this is one of those times, and the defense would love to pull off a safety if they could.
I think Hillhouse is going to be content to let the clock run as much as it'll run.
I think so, yeah. They can't take a knee very easily back there, though. Not much room to take a knee.
And a real tight formation for Hillhouse. They're just going to go straight forward. Quarterback kneels down.
To a knee.
Barely enough room to do that, but he did it. Took advantage. They're going to go into the locker room ahead is what they're after, which is a victory in and unto itself right now.
And the clock is running. We're down to 30 seconds. They'll need to run one more play similarly. Actually, they mark it back at about the... they're only a foot or so outside the end zone here, Frank. You got room to kneel down again?
No, I'll tell you, you can get a good drive off the defensive line, and you could get a safety. No, he's got
sneak
it.
straight forward, and that should run out the half.
With the score, Hillhouse 12 and 7.
That runs out the first half with Hillhouse leading hand 12-7.
Today's show with the 2001 Space Odyssey theme. Drum majors Luke Milligan, Mike McCord, and Kate
about ready to begin half number 2 of this first ever meeting between Daniel Hand High School and the Hillhouse Academics of New Haven. And a mistake-filled first half, Frank.
Wow, more than mistake-filled. Overflowing, if you will.
Hillhouse gets the ball first. Jim Willis will kick it back to them. And he hits a low one and covered right across midfield, about 48.
Gives him good field position to start with, though.
So Hillhouse gets the ball in excellent field position at about the 48.
And this has got to be one charged up team out there for Hillhouse, because
I think the longer you leave them in the game, the tougher they get.
I would say so myself, because you know, it's one of those things that they've probably been getting better and better all season long. As we said, they don't have a lot of chance early years on to become, you know, really good in the fundamentals, and that has to be done during a season.
Well, Hillhouse starts the second half just short of midfield, and it looks like a reverse coming up, and it's going to be a pass. Pass off of the reverse, and the man is down deep, incomplete pass, coverage by Guinapero. So a flea flicker play on the first play from scrimmage of the second half.
Interesting to that, number 4 is their backup quarterback who took that. So you see that play a couple times on us. Now we actually started against North Haven last week. Backup quarterback getting in there.
2nd and 10 for Hillhouse.
A little update, we have Eric Hamill for 123 yards on the game so far, which puts him just a couple shy of 1,000-yard season.
T formation by Hillhouse, and the man still got it.
Oh my word!
Complete pass to the far sideline, and Bob Duggan is the only man out there. Makes a tackle, but it's near first down.
What a fake that was!
And there's a late flag thrown in well after the play is over. That may be against Hand.
Everybody in the field bid on that fake by the quarterback. That might be on the coach.
It is a first down, and they may take a penalty on top of that. What do we got here, Frank?
Oh boy, it's a mystery. This is pick it out of the hat.
No,
the coach,
no, that penalty goes against
Hillhouse. Yeah, the coach was what he was arguing about over there, I believe, was the spot. He's saying that the man, the receiver's knee was down on the ground before he get the first down marker.
I didn't ever pick up a signal of what that infraction was, but it unsportsmanlike conduct.
Must have been.
It brought the play back and gives Hillhouse a repeat of first down, but now it's clear back to the 45.
You know, wiped out a good effort there. Boy, Hand has got to learn how to pick up that sort of faking.
And a high snap from center, and it looks like an option play to the near side. A lot of blocking in front of it. Now it's going to be pitched out and run out of bounds. Gained about 10 yards.
Danny G forced him out of bounds. That was a well-executed option play on that, Ken.
It started with a rather high snap that the quarterback had to jump to catch the snap from center. But a lot of blocking in front of it as they swept to the near side of the field.
Marvelous blocking on that sweep coming around there. Nothing but blue short. Sure, it's totally sealing off the hand left-hand side.
So that brings Hillhouse to a 2nd down and 15 after the big penalty. And run, bounce off. Mac Dolan makes the tackle. Gain of about 5.
That young man carrying that ball is a junior, boy. He's going to be tough next year as well. Plenty tough enough this year. So Mac and the G-man on that.
Ball at the 39 will bring up 3rd and 9 for Hillhouse.
You got a very broad left-hand side over there. A lot of room to do some fancy stuff if that's what they want to do. So Hand better be very alert over on that side.
They need to watch for that quick pass to the flat with a man one-on-one on the far sideline. Bob Duggan, however, did hold his ground on that other play and did not let the man get by him because it was clear sailing if he'd gotten by Duggan. 3rd and long, and it's a pass across the middle, incomplete pass, a jump pass, slant in from the short side of the field. We'll bring up 4th down.
Now, it was behind the receiver also, so it really was a quarterback miscue on that. He would have been defended. Don't think he could have gotten a first down off it, but it was a well-called play.
A 4th down, Hillhouse in punt formation. Woodfaro is dropped deep.
I wouldn't take anything for granted, even here.
Snap and kick, high kick to the near sideline. Woodfaro feels it and bounces off one man, off another man, and now he's going to get hit by the whole team.
Nice job, Danny G! The G-Man! I don't know what.
Woodfaro was living dangerously there.
Not only that, but he must like to get popped and be hurt, and he must like to have bruises. Holy smokes.
He broke 2 tackles and brought it back to the 13.
And he got about six inches off it, too. Went sideways 10 yards. Real good effort, though, Danny, I'll tell you.
So Hand trailing by 5 points early in the 3rd quarter. Hand off to Hamill, big hole. Hamill breaks the line of scrimmage.
Oh, nice move!
Sideline, he's got 2 men to beat, however. And he slows up and now goes forward to about the 28. So that ought to get him 1,000.
Oh, that's 1,000, a lot more. So it's from the 13. So we got 30, 50, about 59 yards they got on that run.
Well, Eric Hamill breaks a big one for him.
Oh, what a beautiful. Did a couple of nice moves out there. He got the one of the safeties turned around the wrong way. Beautiful job, Eric.
And cut it to the outside. He had 2 men who had an angle on him. And that's Dan Carroll, big hole, still going. On the far sideline, Carroll heading for the end zone.
And he's there.
Takes it in, Dan Carroll.
Boy, we haven't seen Danny in there on a carry very much, but the Christmas Carol, what a job he did breaking through. Again, the line gave him a whale of a good hole to start with, but he had to earn a lot of it on his own.
That was about 28 yards for Dan Carroll to give Hand the lead again, 13-12. And 1 point doesn't add much, but 2 will help, and so they will go for 2. Pitch this time to Hamill to the far side, and Hamill heading for the end zone. Got it. 2-point conversion by Eric Hamill. Takes it in. Pitch deep in the backfield to Eric Hamill, who cut back behind the block of Rob Mason on that far sideline and puts Hand ahead
By a field goal.
What do we got? 15-12.
By a field goal. So that was a good call out there, and it was a nice run for 2 yards for Eric. But we did have him now. We've got him up at a very high number. He's going to be up in the 180 so far in the game. But the big thing for him is it's a historic day. It's a historic day for hand football. And Eric has gone past 1,000 yards. First player to do that. And he would be the first guy to tell you he couldn't do that without his line in front of him. He always is praising that line. And well, he should.
And has gotten a wake-up call a little bit here in the 3rd quarter. And the 3rd quarter so far this year has been their big quarter every game almost.
It really has. They seem to be able to get fired up pretty well in the locker room.
So to Jim Willis to tee it up and kick it back. Let's see if he kicks it low again. Last time Hillhouse covered it right across the 50.
And I'm still trying to think in my own mind whether that's by plan to kick him short like that or what.
And he kicks it hard, a ground ball, and it bounces and still bouncing around. And is tackled by Mike Anderson at about the 32.
Nice pursuit coming down there in the crusher crew for Hand, and Mike right down the center, pick it up and drag him down. Kind of talking over in the sidelines there with some of the Hand faithful at halftime, Kent, and they were bringing up how, again, the SATs were today, and how often it seems that the game is very, very sluggish on an SAT type of day. And, you know, I seem to remember that after bringing it to my attention through the years. A lot of people don't realize that takes a lot of mental energy, and the young men have to take a while to get back in the physical side of things.
So Hand has regained the lead. Hillhouse with the ball back. And quarterback straight back, looking to throw, and Hevesey's got him Pinned in. Now throw across the middle. Complete pass. No, incomplete pass. They're not calling it complete.
Waving it off. It's saying
The pass receiver thought he had a complete pass. So did I.
I thought it was complete too, but he was not hit early. This. I'll tell you, I got to make an editorial comment right now. This announcer from downstairs, nothing but inflammatory as far as I'm concerned. He doesn't have to make comments like that.
So that will bring up 2nd and 10. Tim Hevesy did a good job that time of containing the quarterback, gave him no place to go, made him get rid of the ball, and a very good throw.
Some smart moves by the linemen, dropped back on defense. I mean, the blockers, when they saw Hevesy in there, and did a nice job picking up Hevesy.
Looking to throw again. He's going to go long, and it's thrown up for grabs. And caught, complete pass, and positioned himself right in front of Dan Guinaparo and caught the ball. There was a little bumping before that. The ball got down. It was thrown as a rainbow.
There was bumping going on, but Danny had the right to be standing there looking for the ball at the same time. The receiver came into Danny on that. But that's why the fans in front of us are calling for interference, but that's not interference. Both people have the right to go for the ball.
The receiver happened to be a little bit bigger than Dan Guinaparo was, but a long pass play, first down for Hillhouse at the 33. Hand off the fullback, and he's met behind the line of scrimmage. That's Mike Anderson.
Nice job, Mikey. Woo!
Mike Anderson, and right with him is Chris Frey, and who was the other one?
Salmani was in there, yeah. What Mikey did on that, I had my eyes right there in that particular spot. I saw him, he stayed nice and low, fended off the blocker, kept his head up, though, so he could see the man with the ball, picked him right up immediately.
Tom Malik, inside linebacker, calls the defensive signals. He and Dan Carroll are the two inside linebackers protecting the corner. We got Eric Becker on this side, and Turton is on the other side. Another pass play, going long, and nobody back there. The closest man is Eric Hamill. Incomplete pass.
They probably intended Quintel Penn there to continue on and go deep as opposed to starting to cut on a hook down there.
3rd and 10 for Hillhouse.
However, I hadn't picked up ahead of time that Eric Hamill is in playing that deep safety position. So is Mark Gumkowski out there playing the other side.
And Hamill are the two deep men. Beside, on either side are Guinaparo and Duggan. And quarterback still got it, rolling to the far side, and Frey is after him over there. And thrown, there's a flag down. A flag is down where we got a pass interference call, I believe. We had one receiver and two defenders over there, all fighting for the ball.
And there was definitely some pushing off, and I think it was probably Damien by the look of it, but he did. You can't reach back and touch the defender if you're going for the ball, and it just looked that way, that Damien really probably pushed off on it.
Pretty good coverage. They had two defensive men right there, but one of them made contact a little early. So that will give Hillhouse a first down.
Unfortunately, Kenny made a lot of contact a lot early. However, makes it a little more interesting right now.
And the ball now is at the 17. It'll be 1st and 10, Hillhouse. From the hand, 18.
So Hand with a precarious 3-point lead. We have 7.5 minutes left in the third quarter. A run to the left. He's not going to gain a lot there. Dan Carroll makes the initial contact.
Well, Hand is doing pretty well on the runs right now, and as we again have been able to do all season long, and it's still those pass plays that have a tendency to wrap Hand around the axle a little bit.
Gained a couple, about maybe close to 3 on that run.
Gain of 3 on the play, it'll be 2nd and 7.
Ball's at about the 14.
Hillhouse plays are well mixed up between passes, runs, dives, options. Quite mixed up on there.
Quarterback still got it. He's being pressured. And quarterback is down, sacked in the backfield by Chris Frey.
Damian
Turton. That's who it is, 8.
Whoa,
Frey was also in on him, but Turton makes the tackle.
well, it makes up a little bit for the play that I kind of feel was called on him for the pass interference. Nice job, Damian, coming in there. And it really was just barely a shoestring tackle. Quarterback picked him up out of the corner of his eye, coming at him, and tried to run away from him. Wasn't able to quite do it.
That was a loss of about 13, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and 21.
And his gut can't let down. His got to keep on their toes.
Ball is at the 28 now.
I'm just going with a 3-man front.
That's the first time they've gotten to the quarterback today.
Yeah.
Quarterback has still got it, and it's a reverse, and it's going to be a pass play. Turton has got his man hemmed in, and finally it's going to get thrown, and complete pass at the 15.
Holy smokes. Wonderful catch out there by Hillhouse.
Damian Turton did a good job of containing the man, would not let him turn the corner, made him throw the ball. That will bring up 4th and 8 for Hillhouse, however, at the 15.
The receiver was Damick Jenkins right there for Hillhouse, and he did a tremendous job making sure he watched the pass right in his hand. But let's pick it up. There's a real storyline here working right now. The first-string quarterback is Toby Carboni for Hillhouse, but number 4 is out there a lot. Russell Douglas, he's listed as their number 2 quarterback, and he's in there all the time in the backfield. So that's something you have to be watching for. That sort of option pass, if you will.
Hillhouse takes a timeout before the 4th down play is run.
4th and 8.
4th and 8, and Hillhouse loads up the near side of the field with 4 receivers.
But they've got a tight end out there who's looking.
And they're going to throw backwards to one man. Now it's going to be a forward pass down near the end zone. Knocked down.
That's right.
Bobby Duggan knocks it down in the end zone, and then Hand takes over.
Nice job, Bobby Duggan. You notice who was out there, too? It was the quarterback. See that?
A long lateral to the 2nd-string quarterback on this side, who throws it to the end zone on the far side.
I think we better start changing that from 2nd-string quarterback to maybe twin quarterback or something. That's a very effective series of plays.
So Hand with a ball back at the 15-yard line. And run by Damian Turton, who gains a couple. We've got 5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, another hand. 56 is one of their premier players also.
We have an injury timeout for a Hillhouse man who is down on that play. On that last play, a Hillhouse man was down, but he walked off to the field on his own power. 2nd down and 8 for Hand. Pitch to Hamill on the far side, and Hamill gains a couple.
Maybe 2 yards.
Not much there. That was a very tough defense.
And number 32.
That will bring up 3rd and close to 5.
Yeah, that's not going to be an easy task the way that defense is hunkering down out there. I'd like to see maybe a Gumkowski rollout to this side.
Hopkins is split wide left. Guinapero is on the right side, and Gumkowski is rolling, looking for
4th and 5.
who is that over there? Guinapero, I guess.
Yeah, I think it was.
Gumkowski throws it low, however, it bounces in. So that'll bring up 4th down for Hand, punt formation.
The winner of today's raffle is number 81, Ed Del Vecchio. Please report to the press box.
Dan Glenn in punt formation, a tight punt formation. Hillhouse has dropped 2 men. Glenn punts it out, a low driving spiral. It bounces, picked up at the 44. And he's got a little hole, pushed out of bounds finally.
And of course there's a flag on the play.
And
Dan Glenn.
Glenn is in there, and so was Mark Bergami.
Yeah, how about that? Good coverage,
on that
guys.
tackle. We have a flag down, Frank? I didn't see a flag.
No, I didn't see it come. Clipping.
Clip on the return, which will push Hillhouse back.
I didn't think they could have called it as a, let's say, a piling on a hand, because both guys were in the grass, had him in the grass, so it couldn't be that way. Normally you're going to get a clip on a play like that when you get so much movement to the lateral side of the field. It's really almost unfortunate on the guy doing the blocking, because all you have to do is, as the return team or pursuit team, is just turn, get your back to him. But it's a safety move. You have to have it in there for safety purposes.
The penalty takes it back just about where he picked up that punt on the bounce. And Hillhouse with the ball, trailing by 3 points in the third quarter. We have 4 minutes left in the third quarter. A run to the left side, a lot of blocking. Man, it's still going. And gained about 5 before he's cut down.
Hillhouse linemen are doing some very good pulling to get around that corner and start to seal off the
Bob
corner.
Duggan makes the tackle after a 5-yard gain.
Well, it's been a gorgeous day here today. This weather, unbelievable for November.
There we are, second week of November, and it's about 65, 70 degrees.
Shirt sleeves, can you believe it?
And a run to the near side with 2 blockers out in front of the play.
Oh.
And brought down with a good tackle near the line of scrimmage. That was Malik. Tom Malik sliced through from the inside linebacking position.
Yeah, Mac the knife tried to hold it. He did stay outside enough to turn it inside, but he got nailed by 2 blockers. Nothing he could do except turn it in, which he did, and turned it right into Tommy Malik.
So they lost part of a yard on that run.
That's one of those plays if a youth division team says, gee, I seem to be always being knocked down on these. But that's what happened to Mac the knife right then. He got knocked down, but he turned the play in for somebody else to pick up the coveted awards.
A wishbone type formation, and handed off right in the middle, and he's going to be stopped short of a first down. It's going to be 4th and 2 or 3. It'll be about 2.5 yards to go for first down. We have 2:15 left in the third quarter.
And is playing this like they're expecting it to be a punt, but I wouldn't say it was.
So Hand brings in some more players expecting almost anything here.
I think you better do a head count too.
And there are men trying to get off the field, and it's not punt formation. They're going for it on 4th. It's a pass play and laid up and knocked down. There were 3 defensive men there and 1 receiver, and it's knocked down. Hamill, Guinapero, and Dolan were all right with the receiver.
Yeah, that was throwing in a heavy coverage. That was the play that was probably called all the way on that, by the way it looked. I would say the quarterback probably had an option to run it if he wanted. But he saw his man on the fly down there, tried to lay it up there high so he could out-jump him. Almost worked. However, Eric Hamill was back there, and he's as tall as the receiver was.
So Hand gets the ball back on downs. Handed off to Dan Carroll, who goes forward for a couple.
Yeah,
and he's hit hard right at midfield.
Yeah, he was stuffed, as they call it. Woo. However, they're giving him a pretty good spot, I think, on the momentum, forward momentum.
We just crossed the 50. And we have a minute and a half left in the third quarter.
Carroll gets free with a generous spot.
The announcer agreed with you, Frank.
Yeah,
he called
did.
it a generous spot. And there's Eric Hamill, breaks the line of scrimmage. Gains only a yard or so.
Yeah. Thing is, when people hear me say it, though, Kent, it's after the fact. This guy's inciting.
That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 5 for Hand.
Whoever approves this guy as the announcer ought to think twice about him.
3rd and 5 for Hand. Ball to 47. And Gunkowski rolling right. And now he's trying to cut it back. And it looks like he's close to a first down. Where are they going to spot it? Right at the flag.
On the mark, what appears to be a first down.
I don't know. It looked awful close to me. Mark looked like he was looking to plant his foot. But
They've got it marked about a foot short
Yes,
on
sir.
the far sideline. 4th and less than a yard
What do you
for
think?
Ham. And there's no question here what Ham is going to do. They're going to run it.
Yeah, Mark just missed that one.
First of all, we need a clean handoff on this play.
Clean handoff, because normally you might think of Mark doing a QB sneak on this.
And
No,
straightforward,
Turton,
Turton
he's
got
got
the
it.
first down.
And that's number 8.
Damian Turton takes it straight forward right behind Andy Drennan and Tim Hevesy for the first down.
Yeah, that was a good play.
So Hand with a new set of downs at the 41. Domkowski pitches wide to Hamill. Hamill, ball is
goodness,
loose.
ball's loose.
Ball is
Fallen on by Rob, though.
Mason, though, covers the ball.
The brick house smothers the ball.
Somebody put a helmet right on that ball and jarred it out of Hamill's hand.
2 on the recovery. Rob Mason.
Well, maybe we ought to try to work this other side of the field a little bit.
Rob Mason was in the right place to make the recovery.
2nd and 12.
And the third quarter runs out with that play, with Hand leading 15-12 against Hillhouse after 3 quarters. We switch into the field for the last time, the last 12 minutes of this game. Hand has 2nd down and 11. And Hamill up the middle for about 2.
2 or 3 bruising yards, as they call that, Ken. Not too much of a mystery what Hand's doing right now, but by golly, there's not a lot of time and there's no margin out there. I hate to see Hand go too conservative, although I don't know if you call this conservative to stand it.
3rd down and 9 for Hand. Domkowski back looking to throw. He throws across the middle, and Hopkins got the ball. He's going to be a yard short of a first, though.
Not enough for the first down. Russell Douglas on the cover.
Complete pass from Mark Domkowski to Tom Hopkins. Stopped short of a first
Ball
down.
at the 35, and it'll be 4th and 4.
4th down and 4. That was not a generous spot.
No, it wasn't. Not at
But
all.
he was going to be short of the flag.
I'm just glad that Tommy was able to hold on that ball and it wasn't an intercept.
And Dan Glenn is back trying to pin Hillhouse deep in their own territory. Punts it out. And they're not going to field it. Now they're going to field it, man. Tackled right at the 5-yard line.
Boy,
McDolan makes a tackle at the 5.
Down immediately.
that was good coverage on that punt because
Hevesy was there also.
it looked like one of the Hillhouse players wanted to let that thing go into the end zone for, a touchback. But it obviously, the way Danny had that punted, it dropped and just stayed there. So that was good coverage right here.
So like a lot of Hands games, this is going to come down to, can they stop Hillhouse? They have a 3-point lead.
Sure get your money's worth when you're watching us play this year.
We might also add that the 4th quarter began at 20 after 4, and there are no lights on this field.
That's correct.
If this 4th quarter is run quickly, it'll still be light. Otherwise, it may get close to dark. And a run to the far side. The man breaks the line of scrimmage, still going. Got a good gain, and got a first down, about a 12-yard gain.
Nice run. He got out around the corner there.
Brings it up to the 20.
Good to see Hand players staying in position to be able to catch up with him, though.
I gave him a 15-yard gain on that play. 10 minutes left in the ball game. In the defensive line, from center of the line are Mike Salmani, Mike Anderson. Defensive ends are Chris Frey and Tim Hevesy. And quarterback pitch, run to the far sideline, out of bounds, stops the clock, gain of about 6 or 7.
That was just a slight pitch after the other quarterback. I don't
I
know.
guess they mark it about a 5-yard gain.
Just about 5 yards, I'd say. Good play by Mack over there, wasn't it?
2nd and 5 for Hillhouse.
So Hand needs to shut down this drive by Hillhouse if they expect to win this ball game.
It's been a very punishing game in the line, and you don't normally talk about Hand wearing down the other team. We got to watch out Hand's team doesn't get worn down.
Quarterback looking to throw that quick pass to the near sideline, one-on-one with Duggan, and a good gain, first down.
However, Duggan, even though that may not look super good out there on Bobby, but he turned him in. Again, it was a bob and weave, but he turned him to the inside where he had some help.
Very good pass play, a quick pass to the near flat where the receiver was one-on-one with a defensive man and turned it into a pretty good sized gain. Ball's at the 38. And so far, Hillhouse has successfully taken it from the 5-yard line out to the 38. They've got a receiver on the far side in the flat. Quarterback still got it. And now it's an option play, a pitch to the right. And there's a flag down, and Prematurely drags his man down, but a flag is thrown.
Normally coming from a position where you're going to get holding, but it also could have been defensive holding out there, but I would more or less say it's probably offensive holding.
A flip, an illegal block by Hillhouse.
Yeah. Boy, number 78 is the biggest man they have on their team. This is at 320 pounds, and he was out there quite a ways in front of that play.
Was he leading the blocking?
He was, yeah.
So, Coach Steve Philippone's philosophy here appears to be keep them back in their own end as far as you can keep them. Even though the play did not gain anything, they will take the penalty because that's a big one.
You bet, you bet. That drives it well back there. This Hillhouse team is tough, and they're going to come right back at you. And they're going to mix it up, too.
Ball is at the 23.
Oh, well, with the time coming down the way it is, they're going to have to try more and more passing, and they've been quite effective with that. Both quarterbacks are in the game.
First down and 25 for Hillhouse. And they're looking to throw again. And they're looking to throw long. And there's a man down here, overthrown, incomplete pass. But he had a step on the defensive Hand.
Well, I don't know. That was a very long play. I don't think it was catchable by either player. A little controversy in front of us here to whether the Hillhouse player went down on his own accord or whether he got stepped on. I don't know either really what it was, but I don't think it was a catchable ball.
Second down and 25. And the Hillhouse coaches may try that play again. They have good receivers. This time Hillhouse has two receivers on each side of the field. Quarterback still got the ball. It's going to be an option. Pitch.
Ball's down. It's alive.
And Hand's got the ball. Chris Frey recovers the ball. And Damian Turton was right underneath of that, messing up the play, but Chris Frey covered the ball.
Let me tell you, the quarterback for Hillhouse has done a fabulous job all game long. One little error that he made right then, he held the ball, he was a little indecisive whether to pitch it or carry it himself. And when he finally did go to pitch it, it was a kind of a bad angle for the receiving player, who was a quintal pen. So the fumble goes in Hand's favor right now, but I'll
First
tell you.
down for Hand, and the ball's at the 27. Tomkowski hands it off to Hamill, who goes to the 25.
Well, Eric, what do you get? A couple on that one?
Two-yard gain for Eric Hamill. Eric comes up limping a little bit after that run.
Well, I think they ought to take him out of that game now. We've known Eric has had a bad ankle all season long. We've been running fairly well. He's maybe 90% this week. We don't want to re-injure that thing.
So Hand's got a 3-point lead and 7.5 minutes left in the game. And somebody jumps the line of scrimmage early.
Those sort of things happen. Again, it sounds like it was a Hillhouse. Is it going to be
encroachment against Hillhouse.
Yeah, they're going to be very, very anxious to get in there, try to get that ball back.
They know what hand is going to do here. They're going to just run the ball right at them, try to get the blocking of the big men up front.
And sorely wants to get that ball in the end zone.
2nd and 3 for Hand. Ball at the 20. And there's Damian Turton who gains 2, and there's another flag. Another flag is thrown right where the
That's
tackle
like a face
was made.
mask. I think he's going to call a face mask.
That's a face mask penalty against Hillhouse.
You can see
got him by the face mask on the way down.
Yeah, you can see Damian's head get yanked down on that. It should be an inadvertent one, though. They'll give Hand a first down.
Give Hand a first down.
Oh, no, they're not doing inadvertent. They just, maybe they don't have that. I'll have to try to find out in high school.
First down for Hand and goal at the 9-yard line.
Now 1st and goal here.
Mark Gumkowski split backfield this time. Handed off to Damian Turton, who goes forward for 2 or 3.
2 or 3 tough ones again. Man.
2nd and goal from the 8.
Well, I think everybody here in Hand's support team is kind of breathing kind of hard, trying to say, hey, let's get that thing in, gang. Let's not fool around.
Pitch this time to Hamill. Hamill is trying the far side. Another flag down to the 5.
I think there's going to be a illegal block on Hand, I think, yeah. And you know,
Against Hand on that carry.
I think that happened just the way I was describing it earlier on the kick returns and stuff. The defensive, or the fellow making the block is in, well, which was at that time, I think it was the brick mason, I'm not quite sure, but I saw, man, he was blocking, turned his back on him, and Rob just was continuing his block on, nothing he could do, but I said they're likely to get one on that.
2nd and goal at the 20.
However, time still comes off the clock.
Gumkowski still got it. He's got Anderson in front of him blocking. Complete pass to Damian Turton, who takes it. Should be enough for a first down, out of bounds at about the. Where are we here, Frank?
It'll be about the 5, I think. 6.
They got 1st and goal.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sorry, but these out at about the 6.
3rd and goal from the 6.
So Damian Turton takes it to the 6-yard line. Third and goal.
Did a great job, Damian did, picking that pass up off the carpet, too.
Gumkowski hands it off to Carroll, who barrels his way to about the 2. Dan Carroll running low and hard.
Boy, I'll
Brings up
tell you.
a 4th down play.
Danny doesn't get an awful lot of carries out there, but I don't know if we'd consider them Christmas presents or not, but by gosh, when he gets that ball, they're usually rough yards.
We have an official's timeout and a big 4th down play for Hand. 4th down play at about the 2. And Hand leading 15-12. Here's one of your big plays.
It is a monster play right now.
Pitch to Hamill, and Hamill takes
He's
the
gonna
corner
get in.
into the end zone. Eric Hamill takes it the last 3 yards.
Not enough blue shirts out there. You could see that as soon as Hamill got the pitch very deep back there. He was going to be able to pick his part to go across that line. And he could see that he had his blockers out there one-on-one with what blue shirts were there. So he took right in between them. Got the 6.
So that extends Hand's lead to the point that Hillhouse needs 2 scores now.
Exactly. Math is in the favor of Hand.
And Jim Willis kicks it up, kicks it good.
The point is good.
Score is, what do we got, 23?
20. Oh, it should be 22.
I can't read the scoreboard.
Yeah, it was 14 and 6 was 20? No, 15. No, 15. 15. 6 is 21, 1 is 22.
22. 22 to 12.
Oh, sorry to do our math up here. We weren't using our fingers, folks, honestly. We had Dr. Fust up here, marvelous graduate of Worcester Poly and computer science major and all that good stuff. Man, they're good.
Jim Willis will kick it back to Hillhouse as dusk settles in New Haven.
Any one of 11 players it may go to.
He's going to kick another tough one to field, but it is fielded on the fly and run back, tackled by Tom Hopkins. Brings it back to the 45.
Man, that young man, Aaron Scott, did not want to go down. We see him out on all the special teams, and he is one tough little cookie. Both ways, both on kickoffs and kick returns.
That was a good catch. That was a knuckleball floating right to him, and he caught it on the fly. And Tom Hopkins made the tackle.
Now you're going to see an offense really open up right now, and this is going to be a no-holds-barred, wide-open type of offense, flooding the outside with. You're going to see him flooding the outside with receivers. Hand has got the three-man front up there, as we can see, and means everybody back on pass defense. So this is the kind of time when it may not be bad to put a fourth man in on the blitz.
They got Gumkowski and Hamill as the deep men, protecting against long plays. Shotgun formation. Quarterback still got it. Rolling, looking to throw. Now he's going to throw across the middle. Complete pass. Man catches the ball and is run out of bounds.
Hey, that stops the clock with about
Bob Duggan runs his man out of bounds with a gain of only about 4 after all that.
Yeah, that again, Hand only rushing three players. There's plenty of blue shirts out there to pick up the blocking. So it's going to behoove the quarterback, if he's passing, to stay inside his pocket. He's got plenty of protection. Even now, after seeing the way that worked, if Hand blitz somebody, he should be picked up easily.
So a 4-yard gain. 2nd and 6. And his ball is snapped over the quarterback's head. Picked up, however, and Hevesy is protecting that side. Now the man's going to run forward, and he's kept in bounds. And a flag is down.
I would assume, again, we're going to see one of those blocks, a clip-type block or a holding-type block on the offense. That normally is what you're going to see.
Hevesy did a super job of containing that play.
Oh, he really did.
Would not let him go out of bounds. Would not let him run the ball on the sideline.
Because he did get blocked in the back, too, at one point there. Right near the end of the play when he was trying to float him out wider and wider. Whoa!
That penalty is declined.
So it'll be 3rd and 7.
That brings it down, 3rd and 7.
It was a loss of a little bit, but he moved it forward. Whoops, excuse me.
Ball is right near midfield.
The shadows are elongating here on the field.
And we may have trouble seeing players by the time this game is over.
Have to turn on the headlights.
Quarterback is straight back, looking to throw. And throwing across the middle, incomplete. Dan Carroll gets a hand on it.
Oh, he wanted that one badly. And he did have the position on that. It just came in at him so quickly.
4th down for Hillhouse.
I think Dan was trying to make sure he wasn't going to cause an interference play on that.
4th and 6 for Hillhouse. And Hand will be in good shape if they can stop this one short of a first.
Well, they'll still need to be able to hold on to the ball, though, and have no miscues at all. And they will have to get at least one first down anyway.
4th down play. Obviously, Hillhouse will go for it. They need 6 for a first down. Quarterback looking to throw, and now Frey is in on him. And overthrown, incomplete pass. Gumkowski was behind the receiver, and Turton was in front of him. So Hand gets the ball back.
You know, there's been some awful good sportsmanship down there on the field, Kent. Almost every play you've seen, either one Hillhouse player or two, or one Hand player or two, picking up the opposite off the bottom of the pile. It's really neat to see that sort of happening out there. You don't see it often enough, and it is still a game. It's still sport. And it certainly is not life and death on anybody's part.
We have 4 minutes left in the ball game. And Eric Hamill right up the middle for 2 or 3.
Gain of about 3 on the play.
Not much on that. I've really stopped counting out here. Maybe I ought to do a quick count.
And a timeout by Hillhouse. I'm not sure how many they've used. They're used, Frank?
At least 2.
That's at least 2. Yeah. Breaking the action. The hand with a second and about 7. And that's Damian Turton. Breaks the line of scrimmage.
Oh, he
down
may.
the sideline, and he's going to go a long ways.
They've got some speech. There's
And a referee trips the defensive man.
Oh, unfortunate.
So a touchdown for and Damian Turton takes it in.
That's a shame.
One defensive safety man for Hillhouse.
Oh.
I don't think he would have gotten to Turton, but he was tripped by the referee.
No, I don't think he would have either, but oh my goodness. Son of a gun.
I'll bet he turned around and looked to see who clipped him.
I know it. What a shame.
47-yard touchdown on Damian Turton.
47-yard touchdown run by Turton, who breaks it. And the extra point is kicked through, but a flag is down. Procedure called before the kick is made. They'll move back 5 and do it again.
Are we still up and live on this? Okay. I don't know. Can we even see through that, Steve?
About there, Frank.
Woo! Well, this will be kind of interesting. They are going to have Jimmy kick this from
Jim Willis is going to be kicking it from the 15, which would make it a 25-yarder, and he's got plenty of distance.
and he got it.
And
Yeah.
put it right through.
So that's
Good
equivalent
kick,
to,
and he put that clear out on the track, Frank, from that position.
well, I like seeing that because that did become equivalent to like a field goal of a 25 yards. And even though he doesn't get much of a chance to try the field goals, we only saw the one opportunity this year. Again, under a game condition, if you can do that, that's tremendous.
So that extends Hand's lead to 29-12 with 3:46 left on the clock.
You going down?
Touchdowns, 2 extra points is 28.
You going down? Hey, Coach, Eric looks like he's limping.
Jim Willis to kick off. Hits another grounder and a big hop.
Oh, nice hop.
And another big hop, and it's fielded about the 22. Man swinging to the near side of the field. He's got some room to run. There's a flag down. Finally dragged down by Tom Hopkins at the 37, but a flag is down, and that's probably an illegal block too.
Yeah, it was again. I could see it was on the Turton was coming down, and when the runner went past him, he turned around. He turned around just as the man was getting to him. And you just get those all the time. It's
So a clip against Hillhouse on the kick run back. And another flag is thrown. That one probably is because one of the coaches for Hillhouse said something he shouldn't have.
probably, or it could be. You know, he could be calling it on the referee. I mean, on the guy up here in the booth too. But I don't know that you needed to call that other penalty. You just say, "Hey, coach, cool it," you know. I would like to congratulate myself, some of those Hillhouse players, though. They got some good athletes. You got to stick with it.
Timeout here.
Takes a timeout with 3:37
Puts the
left
ball
in the
back
game.
to 88-yard line.
Finally, after all that, we're going to play this last 3:37 of the ball game. There were two penalties on that return. One was a clipping penalty, and the other was a penalty against somebody on the sidelines for what they said.
Intercepted.
And it's going to be intercepted
By Carver, it's
by
intercepted
Bobby
by
Duggan.
number 82.
Bobby Duggan intercepts the long pass at the 41.
That'll put the
The
ball
Handed put some very, very strong pressure on the quarterback, knowing that he was going to have to go into his own end zone to try to release that play, and he couldn't go much further. He just knew that they knew that they had to keep a rush on, and they could get him back there. There wasn't a long ways back he could go, and then it was a really kind of a desperation pass. And Bobby Duggan is able to go out there and intercept that ball.
So Hand will run the ball right into the line here and try to use as much of this clock as they can. And there's Turton covering the ball up with both arms, and another flag down on the tackle.
They get another one.
And Damian Turton carries the ball.
That's too bad. That's really too bad, because it's been a great game and a lot of good sportsmanship on both parts and everything, and now we've got this getting out of hand with only 3 minutes left up there. You can understand the frustration on Hillhouse, but that's not the way you want to end a ball game.
I did notice one thing there, Frank, that Hand did, but it was very wise. Hand captains, Eric Hamill and Mike Anderson, rounded up all their players and said, let's get clear over on the far side of the field.
Excellent thing to do. Very, very unfortunate to have something like that come down at the very end of a ball game. Young men from Hillhouse had played really hard, done a very, very good game, and then you get something like that, unfortunately.
I'm not sure what we've got here,
I think they're calling the game.
They may have called the game at this point.
Yeah, the referees are leaving the field. The game is over.
A little over 3 minutes left in the game, and anything that happens to this after this is academic anyhow.
We see the Hand coaching staff right down there congratulating the Hillhouse team for an excellent job, and they did. We got to just wipe out this last minute or two that we've seen. It was a much closer game than we had expected, and it was a very hard-fought game.
So Hand wins their 8th in a row for this season. This game against Hillhouse, their first ever meeting against Hillhouse, was won, but they were behind 2 different times in the game, and it was not an easy game.
No, it wasn't. And the highlights for Hand on this particularly, though, is the excellent job again by Eric Hamill in his running. He's passing a couple more career marks, the 3,000 mark for the season, for career, and the 1,000 mark being the only players to date that Hand has had to do 1,000 rushing yards 2 years in a row or 2 times ever. So congratulations to Eric in that, and congratulations to the line, who does the job of opening up those holes to give him enough room to work with.
We have 2 games left in the season. Next week they play away from home against Brantford, and then they close Thanksgiving morning against Guilford. But this wraps up the 8th game of the year with Hand 8-0. The final score is Daniel Hand 29 and Hillhouse of New Haven 12. This is Kent Sprague for Frank Tordoff and Steve Fust on the camera tonight. Good night.